guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. So my first story time, I've been trying to make a YouTube channel for a minute, but I knew that this story had to be the first one because, like, you know, there's a lot of ridiculous people in my life. Like, my mom's ridiculous, my sister, my best friends, everyone. But this girl, she takes the cake for just the most rambunctious shoddy I've ever experienced in my life.
Okay. So
I'm gonna tell you guys a story about how this best friend catfished me on our trip to Toronto when we were 18. So at the time, I worked at McDonald's. You know what it is, guest experience leader. All my friends worked at that McDonald's, so it was a pretty chill gig. You know, we worked until 9 o'clock, then we all hit the club. Like, it was a time to be alive, you know, none of this quarantine nonsense. But so there was one Saturday that Essence's dad had he had a food truck, so he went to this festival that was happening out of the city, and I offered to help because I wasn't doing anything, and Essence, you know, we wanted to hang out and, you know, see the vibes. So that day we were just sitting there eating Jamaican food all day, and she looked at me, she's like, "Hey Carla, I'm going to Toronto tomorrow with my friend Dang. Trying to come?" And like, I'm Dominican, guys. You know, my mom's very strict. I cannot just pop out to a little trip at 18 years old. Like, my mom would lose her mind. But you know what? I'm a Gemini, so I'm going. I'm never gonna miss the trip. She's like, free. I'll pay for the gas. I'll pay for everything. We're staying with my auntie in Ajax. Like, we out here. All we need to do is get there.
My nigga.
I'm like, say less. So I called in sick for the entire week. You know, it was open road. I had 6 shifts that week. I said, I'm sick. We out here, okay? We're in Ajax. We meet her auntie. Her auntie's very nice. I'm meeting, you know, take in that throughout the week, I am meeting all her, like, Jamaican family members, you know? Like, they all look Jamaican, the food is great, the vibes, like, they're very welcoming people. So I love the fact that I got to meet a lot of her family that she doesn't usually see. One day, it's like 2 in the afternoon. I'm just double cheeked up in the crib.
Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
And, you know, just enjoying my vacation as an 18-year-old. So, she's like, "Hey, Carla, like, come downstairs and, like, get ready. We're gonna go meet my cousin." That was not unusual. We literally met her cousin last week, like 2 days ago. Like, we're going in and out of her family's house. I'm literally in her family's house. So I got myself together. I wore a little sundress, no makeup, just a chill vibe because, like, it is what it is. I had 10 minutes to get ready. So we drove around Ajax, okay? And it was like maybe 2-minute drive. And the thing that confuses me, because this girl was just talking about how Ajax is her town, she knows where to go, she doesn't need a GPS. This is what she's saying to me. But all of a sudden, we hop into the whip to go into somewhere in the neighborhood, and she put the GPS on. I'm like, okay. So she's still laughing with the GPS on. Takes 2 minutes. We park. Then she texts her cousin, and she's like, "Oh, we're here." And the cousin calls her and was like, "Yo, like, you can't park in the front. You have to, like, move to the side and park, like, 2 minutes away." So we parked 2 minutes away. I look at this girl, and she's doing her makeup. And I'm like, okay, bitch, like, this is your cousin. Like, what are you? Okay, whatever. I'm like, you know what, maybe she has, like, a rude aunt that, like, if she doesn't fix her wig, like, they might call her out. Like, you know, it happened. Caribbean people wildin', so I get that. So I really didn't question it at that point.
Few moments later.
Something ain't right. Like, I don't know. I felt in my spirit, like, something was just a little off about this link up thing, okay? We knock on this door.
Open the fuck up!
The guy who answers the door is clearly not Jamaican. And I look at her and she's just laughing and she's just like, hey, like, what's up? Like, flirting. And I'm like, okay, like, in my head, I'm like, okay, this bitch is scheming. He was full Toronto mans on us, talking about wagwan when we came to the door. I'm like, okay, this is a little ridiculous. And I look at Essence and I'm fucking confused. And she's laughing. This girl's dying of laughter. Also, I'm a good friend. So whatever is going on, I don't want to just be like, what the fuck is going on? Why are we here? Don't know this guy. Don't know his energy. I look around. I see all these family portraits. Essence and her family are nowhere to be found because they're not even the same nationality. I don't understand how that is possible. So we walk into this guy's room. I honestly want to say that it wasn't his room. It was his mom's. Because it was like the master suite of the house. And like just based on the photos I saw downstairs, he does not own this bitch, okay? He lives with his whole family. At this point, he walks into the bathroom. He's like, yo, like, I gotta use the bathroom, but throws us his PS4, or I think it was like his smart TV remote controller, and was like, yo, play whatever you want on Netflix. And then he walks into the bathroom that's still in the room. So I look at my friend Essence and she's sprawled out on the bed, switching it to Family Guy real quick. And I'm like on the corner of the bed, like uncomfortable. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, sis? Like, what are we doing? So this guy's like in the bathroom for 5 minutes and I'm staring at this girl relaxing on the bed. I'm like, girl, like, what are we doing here? Who's this guy? Where did you find this guy? Who do you know in Toronto besides the fam? I was just a million questions, and imagine no answer. She's laughing and I'm like actually getting vexed. Like, she's watching Family Guy. I'm sitting on the corner of the bed. This mandem comes out of the bathroom. He's like, yo, I don't know what you guys are saying. My family comes home in like an hour to like 2 hours. We need to like, and I'm like, I look at Essence, both of them, I'm like, well, I look at Essence like, what is he talking about? Like, I'm not saying too much, okay? This is all in my brain. Because I'm confused. At this point, this guy is just giving us looks like all he's trying to do is smash. And, you know, he could tell that I'm uncomfortable, you know. It's a very confusing atmosphere. We got shoddy number one on the bed dying of laughter, asking for weed. This guy on the other side of the bed thinking he's about to get some. And then me very confused. Just, it's a very weird atmosphere. So this guy ends up saying, you know what? Smoking weed will be chill. Let's go get weed from my friend. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's gonna have to get into the whip. And like, this is just now becoming a day activity. I'm still confused. But you know, anything to get out of this guy's house. Because at this point, we could just throw him out the car, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. And we did. We ended up going to get the weed. Just simply based on the vibes alone, I realized this bitch took me to her dick appointment. But like, I also had a lot of gaps in that theory because I'm like, why would she tell this guy it's a 2-for-1 without telling the two? How would she just assume I'm down when I'm just not about that life? Like, I thought she knew me. I was vexed, okay? I could pop off. I could have popped off, but I had to play my cards right. 1, I didn't know this guy. 2, I don't know what she told this guy to have us both in his house on his bed, double cheeked up. I don't know what the tea is. So at this point, we're all cutting from the house and I'm just ecstatic. Now we gotta walk the 2 minutes to the car. And you know, any person with respect for women would have hopped into the back seat, but this guy hops into the front seat as if he been know us and he's Beyonce. He yells shotgun. I'm like, hey, like, who's this waste man? Like, I'm annoyed because I wasn't the one driving. So now I'm in a place where I don't want to be and I'm sitting in the back seat, so it's whatever.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
We hop in the car, I start playing some music, I at least get aux cord, like, holy. this guy's actually starting to sound pretty chill. Like, I'm making small talk. I'm just like, so like, how long have you lived in Toronto? You know, he's trying to like, he's talking so much slang. Like, I really just couldn't break. Like, from what I'm understanding, he sounded very chill, very normal. I don't even remember his name, but we started driving around. Almost felt like we were driving in circles. And he didn't give us like an address. He just said over there, over there, over there. And I'm like,
Okay.
so he's like, okay, stop here, let me out. As soon as this guy leaves the car, I hop out the back and I go shotgun because listen, bitch, you shouldn't have been there to begin with. Let's just keep it a stack.
Period.
So we watch this guy and he continues walking like 3 minutes. Then he takes a sharp right and he leaves. I just want to like put this in perspective. Like, this ain't no late night like vibes. Like, this is broad daylight, 3 in the afternoon. Like, I don't even think, like, maybe his parents were done work at 5. Like, I have no idea why I'm doing all of this at 3 in the afternoon. Anyways, so now I actually have the opportunity to look at my friend and be like, why the fuck are we here? Like, what's the tea, girl? Like, why are we here? This girl, dead ass, still doesn't say nothing. She just goes on her phone. And you know what app she pulls up? She pulls up her Tinder account. A Tinder account she made with a photo unsolicited of me and her looking cute. And in the bio, it said, don't hit me up. Just want weed. I cannot make this shit up. I was freaking vexed. And I looked at her, I'm like, why would you do that? And I'm like, what? And she's like, well, I just told, you know, he lived in Ajax. He looked keen, told them that we could have some fun and smoke some weed together, you know, get lit. And I was vexed, big mad. And I feel like that's a line that she crossed. But it was kind of jokes because she's dying of, I couldn't take this girl seriously because she's laughing. And before I could say anything, guess who hops into the whip? The Ajax you. He's back. He's back with some loud dang. Don't mind my good mood right now because at the time, mans was pissed. I was so mad. Like, it was not a good time. This guy took like 20 minutes. I don't know if he had a tea and a biscuit with this plug, but he was gone for a minute. You know what I mean? Which is hella disrespectful because it was our gas money. So Essence is still laughing. I'm just sitting there, just annoyed. But at least I know the tea, you know? It was a little bittersweet. At least I know what's going on, so I know how to conduct myself. But damn, now I just wanted to smoke. Like, you do not just put my blood pressure to here and just, like, this was, like, the perfect time to just... Now I have one mission. Since you guys are gonna put me through this bullshit, I just want to lick a hoot. That's it. Oh, it's crazy because this guy still thinks that we are about to do something. Like, he's like planning in the car. He's like, okay, like, we'll get back, smoke this spliffy up quick time, and then we will, you know, get down to it. And I'm not getting down to nothing, okay? Like, that's just too much. So we go into this guy's house, we smoke up, we're vibing, we're chilling. Like maybe 15 minutes go by. This guy's like, oh shit, my mom's here. So I'm like, well, I'm leaving. So I put on my shoes and I'm just looking at where we're gonna go. And he's like, go through the back, go through the back. So we start going towards the back. This guy had the audacity to ask us to wait for him because he was scared and he did not want to get beat. Listen, I'm like,
sis, we're cutting. Like, this is just already too much. Like, he's gonna get his ass beat on his own time. Like, I am not gonna be this guy's savior right now.
Like, if I could cut, you know, the guy that's like, and he disappears. Like, I was trying to dip. In essence, we left through the back. We ran. We cut back to the car, and we left this guy inside. Like, I don't know what I feel bad, you know, but like, we weren't fam. Like, what were we gonna do with you? Bring you to the auntie's house? Like, we weren't even supposed to be here. I'm supposed to see a cousin. You're not coming with me, cuzzo. Sorry. We left and we never looked back. I never look back. I almost feel bad for him. He spent money on weed. He probably got his butt whipped by his mother. And probably, you know, maybe his siblings were about to pop in too. Like, we don't really know the tea. He didn't get no ass. Like, I feel bad for him. At this point, like, I should have reacted more to Essence because, like, she did put me in a fucked up position. But honestly, I was high at this point. We went back to the auntie's house. She was already making her patties. Like, life was back to normal. And it was lit. It's a funny story talking about it, but like, I do not suggest you linking Tinder, nothing. Like, I'm not, you know, if you don't really know this person, like, meet the old fashioned way. Just kidding. Do what you gotta do. Go on Tinder, get your money. It's not up to me. But I guess moral of the story is go on these dates on your own. Get weed legally, you know? Or support your local farms, whatever you want to do. Like, it's up to you, but just be safe, yo. At least she did it with me, so we have 4 hands, you know, ready to pop. But like, you know, I shouldn't have been in that sitch to begin with, so she's never done that again. We don't go on trips together. Just kidding. I love you. You know, Bada Weekend 2022. Anyways, that's how my best friend catfished me on her trip to Toronto. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my first video. Hopefully you guys can subscribe down there and follow my Instagram and whatever you guys want to do. But thank you so much, and see you soon.